Welcome to our countdown of the top 9 most dangerous prisoners in the world. These individuals have committed heinous crimes and have been deemed a threat to society. From serial killers to terrorists, these are the inmates that have been locked away for the protection of the public. Let's take a look at who made the list. Number 1. The Eyeball Man. The Eyeball Man Jason Barnum was sentenced to 22 years in prison for shooting an Alaska police officer. Barnum's offenses were driven by a serious heroin addiction, reports The Independent. What made him seem even more dangerous was his tattoo-filled visage. Barnum had one of his eyeballs, yes, his eyeball, completely tattooed. Number 2. The Red Ripper. Andrei Romanovich Chikatilo was an infamous Soviet serial killer. He was nicknamed the Butcher of Rostov, the Red Ripper, and is known to have raped and mutilated over 52 innocent women. According to reports, he confessed to a mind-boggling 56 murders and was tried for 53 in 1992 and is by far one of the most notorious jail inmates of all time. Number 3. Ailee Mornos. This woman was no less than a monster. Ailee Mornos was involved in the cold-blooded murder of 7 men between 1989 and 1990. She would usually blame the men she dated of rape and shoot them at point-blank range. According to reports, Mornos was convicted and sentenced to death and was executed by lethal injection. Number 4. John Wayne Gacy. You must have all heard of the 2017 Hollywood blockbuster It. The movie is actually based on John Wayne Gacy. Gacy started off performing as a clown to entertain children and raise money for charity. He named himself Pogo the Clown. But under this colorful clown avatar was a remorseless criminal. Gacy was a rapist and a torturer, and was convicted of killing 33 teenage boys and young men between January 1972 and late 1978. He was executed with a lethal injection in the late 1994. Number 5. Rodney Alcala. Also known as the dating game killer, Alcala got a sick thrill from photographing his victims, mostly attractive young women, after murdering them and putting their corpses in distorted postures. He is said to have killed at least nearly 130 women. He was arrested and sentenced to death in 1980. Number 6. Dennis Rader aka BTK. Dennis Rader called himself BTK, meaning bind him, torture him, kill him. He was one of the most diabolical serial killers in American history. With each and every victim that he tortured, he made sure to have an elaborate photography session and kept it tucked away in a secret basement. According to reports, when he launched his first vicious attack in 1974 on the Otero family, he didn't even know how to kill and literally tortured them to death. After his first stint with murder, he went on to kill nearly 10 people. BTK was eventually convicted and punished for each death in 2005. And there's a bone-chilling video where he confesses to all his gory deeds. He is now kept in solitary confinement, waiting for his death. Number 7. Mary Mallon. Also known as Typhoid Mary. She is known to have infected 51 people, and 3 of those illnesses resulted in death. While she carried an extremely contagious bacteria that caused typhoid fever, Mary continued to work as domestic worker and cooked for people, because of which many were infected. Back in the medical facilities for treating an ailment like typhoid was extremely inefficient. And she apparently knew about her illness before infecting hundreds. Mallon spent the last 23 years of her life as a virtual prisoner in forced isolation. Number 8. The Natori Killers. Serial killer Maninder Singh Panter and his domestic help Surinder Kohli were sentenced to death in connection with one of the 16 murder cases in the Natori Killings case last year. The Natori Killings came to light with the discovery of 8 skeletal remains of children from the drain of a house in Natori, Noida. There are accusations of everything from cannibalism, pedophilia, and rape to organ trafficking. Number 9. Shashikala Ramesh Patel. Shashikala Ramesh Patel is one woman who discovered the easy money that came from peddling drugs. She gave up her job of a milkmaid and blended into Mumbai's notorious drug circuit in no time. After dealing in drugs for nearly a decade, she amassed property worth over 100 crore rupees from the business. Baby Patel was finally arrested by the Mumbai police in 2015. That concludes our countdown of the top 9 most dangerous prisoners in the world. These individuals have committed heinous crimes that have shocked and horrified us all. Though they are locked away, their stories serve as a reminder of the evil that exists in the world. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and be sure to subscribe for more top 9 lists.